Welcome. I gotta fix my whoopsie. I fixed my straps showing. Come on in, have a seat. I am get my camera set straight. I'm trying to do something a little different today with filming. So we're gonna see if this works or not. Share stream. Anyways, I am a few minutes early. So we've got about 5 minutes. So come on in and get settled. Bring your cup of whatever it is that you want to drink or eat. I need to set up the chat while I'm sitting here chatting. So let me go ahead and do that right now. And let's see, like I put my message down here. All right, hopefully I got this in here right. Hey, Karen, how are you? I'm trying something different. I was doing a video recording something the other day, and I realized that my camera on the computer was on, and I thought, oh my God, why don't I just use that to talk to everybody? And then I can just quickly plug in the other, the desktop camera. I tried earlier today to plug it in, but then it takes me off screen. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got the camera already set up, so I don't have to sit here and do this crazy moving it around. Hopefully it's right. And then I'll just take myself off. Well, actually, I'll just plug in my camera and it will take me off the screen. Hopefully I don't screw this up. So yeah, I'm going to Virginia. We'll leave next Tuesday morning. And I did a recording for next Tuesday. And I think at some point, I think it got listed as a reel and it showed up somewhere. And hopefully not everybody has seen it because that's what I'm doing. So hopefully not. And then we come home the following Wednesday, the 22nd. So I don't have anything filmed right now for the following Tuesday. But I was thinking about doing, I'm trying to get ready for this craft bazaar that I'm doing in November. So I started making gift bags, and I thought, well, that would be fun to show you all how to make different size gift bags. And I made 2 large ones, and then I made a medium sized one. So if I have time, I may record that. If not, I'll just have the night off, and then I'll do it the following week. So we'll see. I don't know. Oh, wait. Oh, I know it's a good idea. I didn't think about it. I don't know what I was thinking. So hopefully this will go fine. So we'll see. But I thought it looks much brighter this way. I don't know how it's going to look when I put the camera down, but I've got lights all over, so we'll see. Who knows? You know, I need to go back but then I have all this other mess, and I don't really feel like buying another iPad. I don't know, it's terrible. But anyways, if this works, then we'll just continue to do this way. So, what have you been up to? Anything fun? Oh, it is bright. Well, I've got this light behind me on now. And then, of course, the camera light's on. And then I have my 2 desktop configuration things that I used at the other place. So we'll see. When I flip the camera down, it may make a difference. I don't know if it will or not. But anyways, pardon me. Excuse me. Have y'all been getting a lot of rain? We've started getting rain today off and on. Oh, my gosh. And it poured. And I took Rosie out in between, and then it started sprinkling. And she's got a pink raincoat that I bought her, and it keeps her. It velcros. It goes between her legs and velcros under her belly, so it keeps her belly dry because she's low to the ground, right? But her legs and her feet get wet, which is fine. I have a towel by the front door, so I dry her off. But she's as funny as can be, I'll tell you. So so as soon as we got in the house, it started raining again. Thank goodness we got done. So she still hadn't done her other business, if you get my drift. But my husband's going on. Hopefully it doesn't. I don't think it will conflict. He's going on a Zoom at 7 as well, and so he's put her in the crate so she can lay there and sleep for an hour. So we'll see. Anyways, that's what's going on. Let me just make sure I signed into my Facebook page, and it's not showing that I'm live. Why is that? Let me go out and come back in. I got to be live because you're here. Let's see. Let's see if I can get in there. Oh, there we go. I had to go out and come back in. So that's good. So anyways, that's what's been going on in our world. We're trying to catch up with everybody when we go back home, and we're not going to be there that long. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but that's okay. It's all right. Half of my friends still work, so it's really hard to get up with them. I may take a day because we're going to be in Williamsburg staying with one of Chuck's brothers, and they're going to play golf. I think that Wednesday and Friday. I'm thinking Wednesday I may drive to Virginia Beach and just go see who's home or who's at work. I might just try to pop in. Hey, Linda, how are you? Oh, no fun stay. I know. Oh, I'm glad you joined us. But yeah, the dog is, oh my gosh, I said this before, the neighbor next door, 2 doors down. My dog is in love with this woman. She came over today. We're going to do for our building, a Christmas get together for, anyways, we did it last year. We had about half the building, so about 15 of us. There's 4 floors, and some people aren't here, but anyways, probably about 15 are going to show up, but she's going to do the cooking. Last year, Chuck and I, we put it together, and we went and ended up going to Publix because it was a lot cheaper to get all of this stuff through the catering, whatever. So our neighbor has done this for the symphony, and she didn't charge for it. I said, well, we're going to charge and try to get you your money back. So she's going to do heavy hors d'oeuvres. So I got most of the menu. So we're going to send an email out tomorrow, letting everybody know what it is and how much they're going to pay. So, because I want to make sure she gets some money back. She came over, and I swear to God, my dog would not leave her alone. She's jumping all over her. She's just wanting her to pick her up. And she's the one that's going to watch her while we're gone. And I was telling her I'm still working on getting her sit. She sits in the elevator. I never even told her how to do that. Once we got on the elevator the first time, she was shaky. The second time she sat down, I was like, oh my goodness. So now when she sits, I always touch her butt with my finger, and I go sit, and then she sits down. So I said, I haven't. So she asked me, she goes, how have you been doing with training her? And I said, I haven't started yet, and I need to, as far as sit, stay, and all that. She goes, well, I'll work on it for you too. And I'm like, more power to you. Go for it, girl. So she's gonna do that. So I'm glad. So hopefully maybe when I come home after a week, 12, however many days we're going to be gone, my dog might be somewhat trained. I mean, she listens and she walks good on the leash, considering I don't think she'd ever been on a leash before. But if I can get her to sit and stay, and she's getting much more comfortable around people, I'm hoping I can get her certified as a therapy dog. So we'll see. Because I miss going to visit the old folks. Not that we don't have a lot of old people living around us, but the assisted living and memory care. That's something I really enjoy doing. And I miss that. I really do miss it. And I could go up there by myself, but it's not the same. I could go up there and have them read or play games and all that, but I'd rather take the dog. So anyways, all right. Well, we're going to give it another minute or so and let more people come on. And oh, she loves her. I know, it's wonderful. She just absolutely loves this lady. So that's a good thing. So anyways, come on in, have a seat, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself, and then we'll get started. This is going to be, we are streaming to Facebook and YouTube. And then, of course, if you come in late, you can always watch the replay. But I am Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and I have been doing this almost 15 years. I started out just to get a discount, like 99% of the people, and started teaching classes when we moved to meet new people. And next thing you know, I was building a team, and I was having a lot of fun, and I just absolutely love doing what I'm doing. And so now I am working on stuff for craft fair. I haven't done that. I used to do those every year in the villages, and I haven't done one. So I'm doing one in the fall. But anyways, we have a great join opportunity. So if you've not heard that, then scroll down on my Facebook page a little bit, and you'll see a video that I did live last week on October 1st, or you can go to my YouTube channel. We are in the midst, for those that haven't heard, and I'm sure you all have, is that we have our kits on sale, and tomorrow is the last day. They're doing a 3-day sale up to 30% off. So it's a great time. If you want to join Stampin' Up, you can do $35, get you choose $125 in product. So you're going to get more bang for your buck if you buy some of the kits that are on sale. And make sure to check out the Last Chance, which is before they no longer offer that product. And some of those are discounted as well. So you're going to be getting, so in addition to, anyways, you're going to get more stuff for your money. So just keep that in mind. And that special runs through the end of the month. So if you have any questions or have any concerns or anything, just let me know. Leave me a message or message me personally or email or whatever, and I'll try to answer any questions that you have. So, all right. So this evening, we're going to be doing 2 cards, and I'm calling it a tunnel card because I'm not really sure what it's called. Excuse me. So I'm trying something different. I am, if you can tell, I am on my webcam, which is a lot brighter. So I am going to plug in my desktop camera. It's a document camera. So it may go dark for just a second. And if it does, just give me a minute. I'm going to plug it in and then I'll get myself put back on. So, all right, give me a second here. We're going to cut this off and bring myself on and bring this camera on. Hopefully this works. There we go. I think we're on the camera. Let me turn my light on. So that was a lot better than me switching everything all over the place, don't you think? Okay, so we got this here. I want to see, why is that looking so skinny? What have I done? Let me see. Hide on stream. I see. All right, hang on. There we go. There we go. Now I was thinking, oh my God, it looks like it's lost some weight. Okay, we're good. So I'm going to bring the arm out just a tad and bring this up just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay, that works much better, doesn't it, you guys? Okay. So this evening, we're going to use textured notes. I haven't gotten into the holiday cards. I know I need to because we're in October, right? So I want to do a couple of more kind of fall looking things, and then I'll start with Christmas cards. And I've got a recording for next Tuesday because I will not be here. I was telling Karen. And then also I've made some gift bags and a couple of different size gift bags using designer series paper. So I may, if I have time, I may try to get that recorded for you guys. If not, we'll do that when I get back the following week. So anyways, all right. So we're using this textured notes. I love this set. I just really enjoy this set. Let me bring my camera up. I can move it over some. There we go. I really like this set. It's just simple and just easy to use. So I'm going to put this off to the side because I've already got my stuff on the blocks. Now here's the card that we're going to make. I don't know what you call this thing, but see how it's got like the tunnel? I call it the tunnel card. I don't know what else to call it. And the nice thing is it folds flat this way. So when we get ready to attach this, you want to make sure that this doesn't go past the edges because this is what's going to go into your envelope. Okay. So this is what we're going to be making. And we are going to be working with the autumn toil, or I'm sorry, I call it toil, but it's toile, however they pronouncing it. And this is one of my 6 by 12 shares, and I don't have very much left in it. So, but this is the paper that comes in that pack of paper. You've got the stripes, which you got the, I wanted to use these pheasants, but I really didn't have anything to go with it. So I'm torn on how to use that. So we're not using the back side of this, but I thought about that. But then you've got, and I've showed you all this before, and I'm sure you've seen cards made. There's the stripes that we're using. You've got the dark brown, which we're going to be using, and this here. So, and it's got the pumpkin piece. I've already used that piece up. So anyways, that's what paper that we're going to work with us on this card. And then I am doing a holiday card. And I will tell you that as I was cutting, I was putting the daggone thing together like I was, and I had to stop and go, what are you doing? So anyways, all right. So let's get started, and I'm going to give you all the measurements. I'm going to put this, I'm going to set it right here out of the way. Well, let me see if I can put it right here. I'll put it right here so you can kind of get an idea. Let me move my glue. How's that? We'll put it right there. Hopefully it won't be in the way. All right. So we are going to, let me get all my pieces out, and then I'll go through the measurements of what we're going to do here. All right. So the first thing, let me move my stuff. All right. So the first thing we've got a piece of basic beige, and this is cut at 5.5
by 9 3/4. Okay. And then we're going to take our paper trimmer. We're not going to trim it because I think I've already cut it down. Maybe I haven't. Nope, I don't think I have. All right, hold on. Let me get in here. I got to get my stamps out of the way. I'm working on a very small table, so you have to be, I'm so used to, I told my husband yesterday, I'm going to have to, I said, I was so used to having all that space down at the, our cousin's studio that I got spoiled. So now I'm working at, these small tables, and not to try to sound like I'm special or anything, but, it drives me crazy because I feel like I'm just stuck. Okay. So we're going to cut this. Let me get up here so y'all can see. All right. So this is going to be 5.5 by, what did I say? 9 3/4. So I need to cut this down. So 9 3/4. Let me make sure before I cut this. Yep. All right. So 9 3/4 is where I'm going to cut. So we're going to just cut this last piece off. Okay. Now we're going to do some scoring, and you can keep that because it's a pretty nice size. All right. So now we're going to do some scoring. So we want to score at 1 3/4. So I'm going to come over here to the 1 3/4 mark. Can y'all see this? All right. So we've got 1 3/4 right there. And then we're going to slide this down, and we're going to move this over to 2 3/4. So we're going to bring that over here and score. And then we're going to bring it over to 4.5, which would be our normal score, right? 4.5. And, or maybe not, 4.5. And then the last score is 5.5. And that would be what we'd normally score it at, 5.5 right there. Okay, so we're going to score it at 5.5. Okay, now that's all we need to do for that. And I know you can't see these score lines, but just trust me, they're there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these score lines, and then we're going to add the paper. But I want to get some of these pre-folded, okay? I've got this piece right here. Give me a second. I'm trying to keep the light from glaring, and let me just put a little bit of adhesive on this piece of paper so it stops flapping around. There we go. Nothing that little seal won't do. Okay. So we're going to, this is going to be the inside of the card, right? So I'm going to go ahead and fold all of my score lines, and then I'll come back and burnish them in just a minute. All right. So now I'm just folding. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it back this way because I want to fold like that. All right. So now the first thing we're going to do is, and let me go ahead and burnish these now because I don't want to forget, and then we start adding paper to it. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and give all of these a good burnish, and I'm just going to keep, eventually it's going to roll up and it's going to make that thing that we're doing. So we've already done this one, and then we'll just fold this one again. We'll do it this way, make it a little bit easier. And then we'll fold this one, and then we're going to fold this one, okay? All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip this thing over, and I'm going to flip it this way. Okay. So there's all of my side pieces. This is the back of the inside that we'll put our inside piece. Okay. And then we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 panels right here, which I know, oops, let me get in the camera. I'm sorry. We've got 4 panels right here. Here's 1, here's 2 a little bit bigger. One's the same size as this one, and then one's a little bit bigger here, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place on this panel here. This is a bigger panel. Pardon me. I'm going to place this piece right here, and this is where we're going to start making that tunnel, the tunnel card. And this piece is, pardon me, this is 1.5, should be 5 1/4. Yeah, 1.5 by 5 1/4. So that one's going to go on the second score line section. Okay, so let's put our adhesive together. Let's get all of that on there. And I guess I should have taken my glue and got it started before y'all got here. I need to put the cap back on this thing. Have you noticed that if you don't put your cap on it, it doesn't want to come out? So give me a second. My apologies. I thought I was getting really organized for you guys. And I know I have glue in here because I opened it not too long ago. It's going to come oozing out on me. You watch. Hang on. Let me get my, I'm going to stick my tweezer down in there. I don't have a little pokey thing in here with me. I probably need to put one in here to help. All right, let's see if that gets the glue out, because I don't want to have to get up and run into the other room if I don't have to. It definitely is clogged. I apologize, you guys. Here we go. It's coming. It's going to come out, and it's going to come in this big blob. You watch. I'll try to get it out little by little. Once we get it going, it'll be good. Let me see if I can pull it. You know how it dries up on the inside, and I need to start learning to put my the caps back on it, because that's part of the problem. Nothing like watching me try to squeeze my glue out, right? If I had another one in here, I just opened this one last week. All right, let me see if I can get it out. I might have to run and get the other one, because this is going to take, oh, here we go. It's slowly. Hang on. My apologies. This just gives me more time to sit there and chit chat with you. If I could figure out how to get him, I need to keep a pokey tool in here, because if I stick my scissors in there, it's probably going to make it too big. Oh my God, this is crazy. All right, I see it right there on the end. You know how that is, right? It just doesn't want to come out. All right, we're going to try one more time. If not, I'm running into the other room to grab my other glue, because this is ridiculous. All right, I'll be right back. My apologies. Apparently it didn't work. Okay, I should have brought my pokey tool while I was at it. All right, let's see if we can get this one to work. If this one doesn't work, and I'm gonna, there we go. I was gonna say, if this one doesn't work, I'm gonna cry. All right, my apologies for that, everyone. I apologize. Called pillar, oh, a pillar card. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. All right, so here's this piece here, and we're gonna put that in the second section on the back side of the card base. Okay, so that's going to go there. All right, and then the next piece is we've got a piece of what I had left of the strawberry, of the pumpkins, is this little basic, I think it's a gray granite, and that one is going to go right next to this one. Okay, so we've got, this one's going to be empty. This one's going to go here. This one's going to go here. And then this one's going to be empty. Okay. So let's go ahead and add this on here. Oh, look, we have glue. See what happens when you, I'm going to bring one of those little, I don't know, stick pins, not stick pins, whatever you call those things, like that you put in a cork board. I've got a bunch of those things. I just need to leave one in here. Okay. So we've got that. All right. So now I'm going to flip. That's all we're going to do is put those two right on that piece right there. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm flipping it back over. Okay. Now this is going to be my card base, right? And then this, see how we folded it? And we're going to roll it over. So you're going to fold it like that to get it to adhere like a box. So we're going to, what you'll do is fold it like that. And then that's going to glue down on the base of the card. Okay. But before we do that, we have to add this piece right here that we're using. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it down here first and get it lined up with the edge of the card, because this piece is going to come over right butting up next to this piece right here. Okay. And this piece is measured at, did I give you the, I did give you the measurements for the skinny one, right? This one is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Isn't that pretty? I love that paper. I should have done that, because that would have been cute on here. But that looks a little busy, doesn't it? Anyways, we're going to put the brown on it. I think I'm going to have to order some more Christmas. Well, we'll see. I've got some 12 by 12 sheets of Christmas paper, but I'm going to be making all these cards for the craft. Well, in addition to the Christmas cards, these Christmas bags. And I think I'm going to do something different. Well, I'm going to get y'all's opinion. my husband asked me when I showed him the card, it's a bag with a card. It's a gift bag that I made. It's a good size using a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And it has a coordinating card that hangs on the side of the bag, right? So he goes, what are you going to charge for that? I said, I don't know. What do you think? He said, well, I would think at least $10. And I said, I don't know. We'll see. He goes, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you just tell people that, he goes, it'd be kind of cool to do an experiment and see what people do. Pay me what you think is a fair price. So what do y'all think about that? If you went to a craft fair and you saw something you really liked and somebody said, well, just pay me what you think is a fair price. I mean, I know you're going to have people that are going to lowball you, but you never know, right? So I think I'm going to do it that way. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right. So now we have this, right? So now we're going to fold this up. You're going to fold it and it's going to go right to where that crease is that's at that 5.5 mark. And then we're going to put our adhesive here and then we're going to take it and we're going to fold it shut. And that's going to hold it down. Okay. So that's what we're doing. All right. So we're going to put our adhesive on this piece right here. I mean, it really is an easy card. I mean, it looks very difficult, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty daggone easy. So we're going to put some, and I'm going to put a little bit extra glue on here because I just want to make sure that it sticks. Okay. All right. So we're going to fold it. I've got it lined up right here. Now this is the part you just got to be patient with it. And we're going to fold it here. I'm going to try to get it set up where I don't get my fingers in the glue. And I'm going to hold it like that. And I've got the, in the score line is where I have the piece of cardstock right here. So if you can see that, and then I'm just going to fold this up and then fold this back down here. And then now we've got our card and then you can push it down if you want this way. I'm just going to use my bone folder just to make sure it's on there and it doesn't come apart. Okay. So that's what we're doing. All right, and then you use your liquid glue. You do have time to shift it. So if it's hanging over a little bit, then we'll just shift it over. And there is the base of that card. See how easy that was? And then when you go to mail it, you're going to fold it like that and mail it, but it works fine. I don't want to squish it too much because I want to make sure that it dries. Okay. All right, so that's that. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we need to have our piece for the front of the card. And this, again, for those that have just joined, this is what our card is. And I'm going to do the same design here. Oh, no. Guess what I forgot to bring? My twine. Oh, well. Okay. We'll skip the twine, but it's supposed to go on there. I tell you, sometimes I wonder about myself. I don't think I have twine in here. Anyways, okay, I am using the textured notes dies that goes with this stamp set. And I'm using the third one from the largest, which is the one that has the lines, the dotted lines. And that's perfect size to go on here, okay? So what I'm going to do is we are going to stamp some of the images from the stamp set. And if you're just joining and you don't know what that stamp set looks like, that's what it is. It's the textured notes. We're going to use this one, and this one, and then we're going to use this sentiment. Okay. All right. So I'm going to come in with basic beige and I am going to, let me get my craft, what's it called? My ink pad ready. Okay. So we're going to do some basic beige. Let me get my stamps out of the way. All right. So we're going to do basic beige for this kind of ropey looking stuff. And you can place this however you want to place it. There really isn't any right or wrong reason, any place you want. I'm just going to put it off to the right side and hopefully I've got it inked up enough. Now, again, it's basic beige, so it's not going to be really dark, but I'm going to place it right there and push that down and let it sit for a minute. I can't believe I forgot my daggone twine. I thought I had everything with me and apparently I didn't. All right, so there's that piece right there. All right, so let me shut this so I don't wear it. All right, then we're going to come in and I'm going to stamp. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp these little flowers, the little leaves first, and I'm going to use Old Olive, and then I'm going to use Mossy Meadow for the larger leaf, and then the smaller leaves are Old Olive. The first one I made, I stamped, which I think is this one, I stamped this on top of I stamped the big flower leaves first, and then I stamped the small ones. I'm going to stamp the small ones so they go underneath where I want my leaf to go. So maybe it won't look so, and this kind of hides it and covers it up. But if it, it is what it is. And I think it'll be fine. Okay. So this is the larger stamp. So I know when I do this, I want to angle it. I don't have any ink on here, so I'm going to lay it down just so that I can get an idea where my leaves are going to go, so that I can kind of gauge where I want to put this, this one right here, the green one, which is the old olive. Okay. So I'm going to get this inked up, and I'm just going to kind of hopefully get it right. Somewhere go. So I'm going to, and then I'm going to ink it up again. And I want to, I'm going to have to bring this one down. So I think I'll have this guy coming out this way. And if it comes off some, that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to have this one about like that. Okay. So that's how I'm doing those two leaves. And that is using the old olive. And once that dries, it will probably lighten up some. Okay. So let me get this out of the way and this one out of the way. All right. And then we're going to come in with our mossy meadow, and we are going to stamp the big leaf over top. And now I can determine, that actually looks pretty good. But once we get this on there, we're going to see. All right, so I've got my mossy meadow on here. Let me just make sure I've got it all inked up, and it looks like I do. And now before I lay it down, I'm just going to kind of play with it and see. So I think it's might going to have to go this way, because this is a lot of area that's not used. So I'll probably bring it down so I can see. So it's all in how you place it, right? Let me get this back in here. Sorry. So I know this is all open. So I'll probably have more of the leaf down in this corner, and then place it going this a little bit more this way. So you'll still see those two leaves. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. And it's going to come over some of these, which that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to turn it a little bit more because I can see. And I want to bring this down, and I think I'm going to go right about like that. And it is what it is, guys, right? There, not too bad. So just a little something. It could have come up a little bit higher, but that's fine. It's not a big deal, because we're going to do a sentiment, and we can bring our sentiment down and kind of cover that section up if we want. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take, I do have some other, all right, hang on. I got to look for my bedazzle thingies. Hold on. I might have to run back to the, I thought I brought all that in here. Hang on a second. I'm looking for my, nope, I didn't bring those either. I might have to run. Okay. All right. So there's that. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment. And I'm using the really long one that says, but we're going to cut it in half. So you are seriously the best. And I'm going to stamp that in Mossy Meadow as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up part of the sentiment. And I'm going to put, you are seriously the best. So I'm just going to do seriously and ink it right here. And if I get any on the word the, I'll just wipe it off with my, what you call that thing? My scrubbing thing, my tool. What is this thing called? Whatever. Okay. So I think I've got it on there. I got a little bit much, but we'll see. Okay. So we're going to put this on here, and then I'm going to cut this down, and you'll see what I'm doing here in just a second. So I'm going to place this right about, because that's why I got this long piece. All right. So we're going to place this right here. Okay. And I'm not going to press too hard because I got a lot of ink on this thing. All right. Perfect. And then I'm going to clean this off my chamois. That's why I couldn't remember the word my chamois. All right. Then I'm going to come back and let me wipe this one off too. I'm going to come back and just ink up the best. You are the best. So I'm just going to come in here again. with the ink. Now, when you have the photopolymer, you'll be able to see through them, but I like to do it this way. Now, I could use the markers on this, the Stampin' Write markers, but since those are going away, I'm trying to get my tea in here, so I think I'm going to have to, yeah, I'm going to have to clean off my, okay. All right, so we've got the ink on there. So what I need to do now, as you can see, I've got a little bit of smudge right here on my last letter here. So we want to wipe that off. All right, I'm going to wipe this piece off here, right here too. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp this on this end of the paper. Actually, let me cut this. So if there is any ink on it, we don't need that much room. All right, so I'm going to stamp this on here, and then we'll cut it down. And I'm going to stamp it right on this piece right here. And we'll stamp right like that. So I can separate the words. There you go. So I can separate the words and then kind of do them separate from each other, right? All right, so there's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go get, because I don't have my little doodads, my embellishments. So I might have to make another run, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to trim this down in the trimmer. I could use my scissors, but you know how that goes. All right, so I'm going to make this. I think that's a little bit too wide for this way. So I'm going to trim this down just a little bit, not much. All right, so I want to get that. And then I'm going to trim off the bottom because that looks a little crooked. So we're going to do a little trimming here. All right. And then we're going to cut these at an angle. Let me move those out of the way. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. Let's see, how much do I want to leave on here? I'm going to cut this at an angle. So actually, I'll leave it the way it is. All right, let's just trim. I think we'll trim just a little bit. No, actually, let's just do it this way. A little bit off the top, not much. I'm just, based on your size of your scrap that you're using, just trim it what you think looks good. And I think that's fine. I don't think I need to trim anything. I could trim a little bit off the bottom. Let's just do a little smidge. And I'm going to get my blade. Hang on a minute. All right, so we're just going to do a little bit on the bottom. And I'm holding down my paper so it doesn't move. Okay, there we go. All right. Oops, if I can get these things off the paper here. Put that in the trash can. All right, so now we have our pieces, and we're going to add these. If I can get them off the thing here, give me that. Okay. So now we're ready to go ahead and finish building up our card. All right, so this, I'm going to cut this at an angle. I just like the angle cut for whatever reason I do. So I'm just going to cut it like that, and then I'll do the same thing on this one. Cut this one at an angle, and actually I'm going to trim this down just a little bit so it's not quite so much white paper that's just kind of hanging out there. All right, so now we're going to pop these up on dimensionals, and I do have those somewhere. They're here. I brought extras. All right, so we're going to put, I'm going to put probably 3 on here. Now, I'll just do 2. I think 2 will be fine. Whoops. And we'll take that one off. All right, so let's put that, actually, yeah, we'll do that. And then on this little guy here, I probably just need, actually, I'm going to cut off the strip right here, and we'll just use that little piece to put on here. There, that makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? Okay, so let's put that in the trash can. Get those out of the way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add these, and I'm going to place, I think I'm going to cover up some of that right there. So I'm going to cover, and debating, I'm going to put it at an angle. All right, and then this one we're going to put right down below it, the best. And as you can see, oops, let me get that on there. Okay, let me get this angled this way So they're all the same. Okay. All right. Now, when we get ready to attach this, we only want to put, I'm going to do dimensionals on this as well. We only want to do it on the left side. Now, when you close this, you want to make sure that it's not going to go over. So I can kind of gauge where I think this should go. So I know to flip it over, and I'm going to put my dimensionals on the left side, which is now on the right side over here. So I'm going to line them up right. I'm going to come over a little bit, and I'm just going to line them up right down the side of the card. Oops. And I guess I'm going to cut some off since I've got some hanging here. All right. We'll just use the edges here, right? We don't want to waste anything, right? Okay. So we'll put that one right there. All right. So there's that. And then now we'll attach that for our card. Now, when you put this in here, make sure you go a little bit on the to the left of the fold, because I think what I did is I got mine right on the fold, so it's going to not fold all the way flat. And if I go this way, it's going to be too big to go in the envelope, but this will still go in the envelope, however you want to say it. So just make sure, because I ended up going quite a little bit over. It needs to go back just a tad, but it will be fine. It's still going to go in the mail. It will be fine, because I usually, stuff like that, I'll put in a padded envelope anyways. So that will give it room to be a little bit higher than normal. Okay. So then we're going to go ahead and place this. And if I fold it, then I know I can go right about, which I was thinking right about, not quite halfway, but close enough that we can get it. And you want to make sure, you know, you've got it somewhat centered from top to bottom and straight. So before I press it down, let me look at it. And I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to push this down on here. And then rather than me get up and run back into the other room, I will add my twine, which I did some twine. I wrapped it around 3 times and tied a bow. And then I used some of these little embellishments came in one of the scrapbooking, the Close to My Heart scrapbooking kit. So this is not actually finished because I do need to put those on there. And I thought it was great because this green actually went very well with the card. So there is our tunnel card, or what did you call it? Oh, you're cutting in and out, but full. Oh, cutting in and out. As far as my voice. Can I show you the bag? Oh yeah, I can. I will go get it. So let me do that. I'll go get one of the gift bags, and I'll get the twine. Back in a flash. Okay, I have my twine. All right, let's finish the card and then I'll show you the bag. Okay, I can't find my right, but anyways, we'll use these. This is fine. Okay, so let's go ahead. I could have put the twine on there. I'm going to tie a bow now because I'm not going to be able to wrap it around, but let's just go ahead and tie a bow, and we'll use a glue dot and get that added. And then I'll show you the bag when we get done with the other card. How's that? Okay, so I'm going to put that over here out of the way. All right. Hang on. So I'm going to tighten this little guy up. He's still too big. Tighten him up, pull him down a little bit. Oops, this one's a little bit too big. And you know how it is when you go to pull it, it gets, shoot ski. I don't have my my paper, the ribbon scissors are down below, but that's okay. This will work. Hang on a minute. Let's trim this up. If I hold it tight enough, I can cut them. There we go. All right, so we're gonna we'll throw this guy on here. I don't think these are gonna look right because those are green. No, I don't think I use those. All right, so let's add a glue dot. And I happen to have some right here. So let's go ahead and get that on here. At least we'll have a bow. And then I'll add the extra embellishments. I'm going to put 2 glue dots because sometimes it's easier to do it that way. It helps to hold it in place. These are from Paper Pumpkin, in case you're wondering why I have these weird glue dots. They come in your Paper Pumpkin kits, and they give you a lot of them, actually. And I've got them all. I mean, I have these things all over. I'm going to kind of roll those up a little bit. And I'm going to place, because that's a lot for, let me just use my scissors, my snips here. And we'll just do a little roll action. Okay. And then we're going to stamp this little, put that guy right there on there. And I'm going to squish him down. There we go. And then I'll add the embellishments. I brought these in here, but they're garden green, and I don't think they look right. So I'm not going to put those on there. All right, so there is our, what did you call it, Linda? Just voice, but now doing great now. Only was less for a minute. Oh, okay. What did you call this card? Hi, Judy. I don't remember what Linda said. She'll respond to me. It'll take about 8 seconds or so because there is a delay, and she'll tell us what the name of the card was, the fold. But isn't that cute? I call it the tunnel card. All right, so there we go. And that's quick and easy to make. So I'll add my embellishments because I definitely need something because there's a lot of white showing right there. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next card, and then I'll show you the gift bags, and then y'all can tell me what you think, what you would offer for a price. I'm just curious. Whoopsie. Just a little curious. Okay, so we're going to do another of the same card. All right, and same, we're going to still use the textured note dies, but we're going to use a retired, this is going to be a Christmas card. We're using a retired stamp. This is an oldie but goodie. I love keeping my Christmas cards, my stamps, because you never know when you're going to need something just, fun. So I do keep my stamps. I'm cleaning my blocks off. Give me just a second so I can place them somewhere. And so I do keep some of the older ones. So we are going to use the same die shape on that, and that's from the textured note dies. Let me get my numbers out because I'm going to have to give those to you again in case you're just joining us. Now, this card is a holiday card, and I'm actually using an old So Santa, and I bought this one because it had the beach, the guy on the little moped, and then had the beach guy. And this one came out, oh my gosh, I don't even know when it came out. Do I have it in here? Nope, I don't know. It's red rubber. But here's what I did. We're going to use this guy here. So I'm cutting everything, and I'm putting everything, getting everything organized to go in my packet. And then I realized that I started putting everything together. So some of this is already together and some isn't. I've stamped. Anyways, I've stamped the daggone thing. So there's not much for me to do other than put it together for y'all. And I'll just tell you what I did. And I'll go through the sizes again. All right, the paper, this is another one of my paper shares that I did. And this is the Elegant Pines. Oh my gosh, this is the first time I've used this paper. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at this. I'm sure you've seen everything. It's got shaded spruce in it, which is one of my favorite colors. So, and it has a pretty peacock. It's got like all the greens. Let me pull this thing out. It's got all the greens in here. But look at this paper. Look at that. Okay, so here, and I'm sure y'all have seen this. There's the back side. There's the back side. That's pretty peacock. And then there's this one. And that's pretty. Look at these. Aren't these gorgeous? Really dark with a secret C. And then that's more of a mossy. And then this one has got, it looks like peacock, or it could be cloud. Oh, this is cloud cover. And then the back side of that's more like an olive color. Isn't that gorgeous paper? So I may have to order this and I get the 12 of 12s, because all I have is one of the paper shares. I don't have the full pack because I had enough paper shares to do them, and I had one left over. So, okay. So that's the paper we're using. All right. Now, okay, so we're going to go with our cardstock again. So now we have to cut, and I think I did cut this one down, but I didn't score it. All right, so let's just make sure, and I'll go through this again. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. Nope, it's at 11. So, all right, it should be cut at 5.5 inches, and we're going to cut it down to 9 3/4. So if you're just joining, 9 3/4 for your card base, and by 5.5. So we're going to cut off this piece here, and it's a nice size piece. Again, like I said before, you'll be able to use that. And then we're going to do some scoring. So let me put my scoring blade up there, and we're going to start out at 1 3/4. We're going to score. We're going to move it down to 2 3/4. Make sure I get it lined up top and bottom. 2 3/4. And then we're going to move it down to 4.5. And then we're going to move it down to 5.5. Okay, so we're going to line that up at 5.5. And again, it's a dark color, but in this gorgeous, I love this paper. This is one of my favorite papers. All right, let me put this over here. Okay, so now we're going to fold again. So this is starting, now keep in mind, because this is going to be the bottom, the piece that is the largest of the two, which is going to be measured at 4 1/4 inches. This is your card base, and this is going to be the inside of your card, okay? So I'm just going to start folding everything and burnishing it as we go. And then I will give you the dimensions of the paper again. All right, now I'm going to start back over. I'm just flipping it over. So this is the top piece that we scored. And again, I want to make sure I've got everything nice and even. And then we're just going to keep folding on the score lines where we scored it with our bone folder. And then we've got one more. And I always put my fingers on here so I can feel it. I can see them, but I like to use my fingers too to help guide me. All right, and then there's that one, okay? All right, so this is what this is the inside of the card. So you see how the folds go? Well, it's not going to go like that, but you got me, right? And then this is the inside. So now what we're going to do is I'm flipping it over. This is the front of the card. So we're going to take our pieces of cardstock, which I have cut as usual, and I'll give you the measurements for these again. So now if you can see, and I know it's hard, we've got one space right here. Okay, there's one, and then we have a little bit bigger one. That's where this piece here is going to go right there. And then I've got a smaller piece, and I'll give you the measurements in just a minute, which is the back side of this one. That one is going to go right there. And then this one's empty because we're going to roll it up. Okay. So this piece of designer paper is 2 3/4. Is that right? No, I'm sorry. Pardon me. I misspoke. Pardon me. Don't listen to me. This is 1.5 inches by 5 1/4. So let's go ahead and place this one down. I just love shaded spruce, and I need to order that ribbon. If y'all haven't seen that satin ribbon that they have, oh my God, it's gorgeous. I need to buy that too. I love this color. All right, so this is going to go in the second, between the second, not the first set of score lines, but we're going to go in the second set, okay? And you just want to get it lined up. And then this piece here is 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4, and that's going to go right here. Okay, so I'm just going to put the adhesive on here. I think we're going to go over just a little bit, you guys, probably because I had to keep getting up and running my mouth. Imagine that. All right, and I think I want, it's got more, I'm going to do it. Let's do it this way, where it's got more stars at the top. So I'm going to lay that right here in this part, right there. And I'm trying to make sure they're lined up as close as possible. I'm not going to be too worked, and then make sure they're centered in between the score lines. Okay. So that's all we need to do to put on the back side, which is the front side of the card. All right. Now we're going to come over here, and this is the 4.5 piece, right? 4 1/4. And this piece here is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And this is that paper. Isn't that beautiful? but we're going to use this piece right here because I like the shaded spruce color. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to place that down here. Can you believe that the holidays are going to be here before you know it? I mean, I'm like, good Lord, where's the time going? That means we're getting older. You know what I mean? All right, so just place it to the right side, leaving a small border like we normally would do, okay? All right, so that, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, so pretty. Okay, so now we're gonna fold this up. So this is gonna fold, that's gonna fold, and then this one, this time I'm gonna place it right on the inside to the left of that score line right there, and then fold it over so it forms that tunnel. I wanna make sure I've got it on there. That way, you see how it will fold down a lot better, okay? So we're gonna put adhesive right here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue this down. And you could use your seal if you chose to do that. All right, and actually what you could do is we could close this and bring it up like that, right? So you could do it either way. Now, if you fold it like that, it's bringing it right to that score line. So let's try that and see. That might work. Let's try it and see. Might make it easier for us. And there's your tunnel, or whatever you want to call this thing. Look at that. And it folds flat. So that's the way to do it. All right. So I just learned something new myself. So put your glue on that side and get it lined up, and then just press it backwards. All right. I'm going to put my bone folder in here and get this glued on here really good. But isn't that neat? Look how easy this would be a good card to make too. You can make a lot of these, get them all scored and everything. You can make a lot of these and do an assembly line. Okay, so there's the base of that. Now, what I did, I was trying to come up with something. I saw a card, and I was trying to figure out how I could do this. And I saw a card where they had taken and layered, like, which, anyways, they made banners, and my banners are a little bit different. So this is what I was doing. And I thought, why am I gluing this stuff down? Because this is something y'all are supposed to be doing. So I went ahead, I cut out that third largest textured notes die. And then I cut a piece of shaded spruce and crumb cake. And I used the essential nested. Oh my God, you think I would have brought that in here? It's one that's retired, but I liked it. So I cut them the same size. And then what I decided to do was just to pull the crumb cake up a little bit higher. And then I just trimmed it off. I placed it on here, cut it down, and then I glued it on here. And then I cut off the top part so it was even with the top there. So that's what I did to create this piece right here. Now, I could have brought this down below that little line and had a white piece, and I looked at it and I didn't like it because of the crumb cake. So that's why I cut that off. All right. Then I ended up stamping the little cookie guy and from that stamp set. And I went ahead and colored him in real red shaded spruce. I did smoky slate for his boots and crumb cake for his spoon and spatula. And I think I did, what color did I do? It wasn't beige because we don't have a basic beige. This might be a light crumb cake of what I did. And then I did gray granite for the silver tray. All right. And then I colored him, as you can see. I fussy cut him out. All right. And then I used the hang on a minute. Yeah, the 2-inch circle punch. So I did a white and I did a red. So my thoughts are I'm going to place my circles on here. And then I'm going to place this one. First, I'm going to put this guy on here. That's the plan. So we're going to put him on here. And I'm debating if I'm going to pop him up or leave him laid down. I can't decide if I should. I think I'm going to lay him down and I'll pop these up. It'll probably be easier. So let me go ahead and add my adhesive. I was thinking about popping him up, but we'll just do it this way. All right. I just thought this was cute. And and then our sentiment, it's Christmas and you're baking cookies. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to place him right here in the center. Now I'm going to leave a little, I'm not going to push down his hat because I want to put the sentiment. And I went ahead and stamped that too. Can y'all believe that? I was just cutting away and stamping. So here's the sentiment. Sugar and spice makes Christmas nice. All right. So what I've got to do is I want to figure out how I want to place my red and my white circles. And I'm thinking about bringing the red up to the top. So it kind of takes away that, makes that look a little weird. And then place him right here centered, but it just has that red accent to pull in the color. And then I'm going to place it either here or I think I'm going to place it right there, the sentiment. I think I'm going to go that way. All right. So let's glue down the red and we'll pop up the white with dimensionals. Let's do it that way. Don't you find it funny that we have a plain piece of cardstock and we always flip it over when we want to put glue on it because it's just the way we do things, right? So we'll lay this one down flat and we'll pop up the white one. All right, so that goes, let's do him right about like that. All right, and we'll use up some of that space. And then we'll pop up this guy and then we'll add our sentiment. And again, I'm thinking I'll do it like that, but it may go, I'm not sure yet. So let's get this guy on here and then we'll see how it goes. All right, so here we go. Let's just, even though these are cut, let me go ahead and just put regular without cutting them. All right, so let's add, you can see I was using the sheet from one of the new Christmas ones. I was trying to come up with a design and it wasn't quite working. So anyways, that's on my list of things to do. I have a lot of stuff that I want to get done before we leave next Tuesday. Okay. All right, so I'm thinking we're going to move him, probably bring him down like that. So it kind of brings everything down a little bit. So let's place him like this. And then, of course, we're going to have to pop this one up. And again, I'm still thinking if we want it under here or should we put it, I think I'm going to do it like that and put it, I think I'll go right under his hat and then have some dimensionals on the back side, I think is what I want to do. What do y'all think about that? I think we'll go that way. And these we can do, let's see, we'll put a big one on the outside edges, right? Because that's going to be that's going to be down there. And then I will put a little dimensional right in. Now don't go anywhere because I'm going to show you my bags. And I want y'all to tell me what you would pay for that bag if you had the ability to name your price, basically, is what it's, I got to come up with a fancy way of, whoopsie. I got to come up with a fancy way of calling it. I'm going to put another, probably don't need it, but I'm going to put another little dimensional right here just because. So let's do that. And I think that will be fine. Whoopsie. Isn't this a cute card? Oh my gosh. I'm telling you guys, I love shaded spruce. All right. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to pop him right there. And then just pop this down on dimensionals. And that keeps it nice and even. Isn't that cute? All right. So again, we know. Now, you know what I forgot to do is we're going to put a piece of white on the back of our sheet. And I did bring one. And I forgot to put that on the other piece of our card. So, and then what you can do, well, let's go ahead and do this, is I don't know what I was thinking. We'll put a white piece back here and then we can put some designer paper on the white piece. And I brought 2 sheets of cardstock in, but we'll add some designer paper to the edges. Let me find my envelopes. What did I do with the envelopes? I thought I had brought 2 of them in here. Oh yeah, there we go. Well, we've got 2. Oh no, I thought I brought 2 sheets of white paper. Oh, I did. They're right here in front of me. See what I mean, you guys? Okay, so we'll go do that in a second. All right, so now we know we're going to lay this on here, and we just want to make sure that we don't go past that edge, right? So see those little berries? I know I can't go past that, so that's good. So we're going to put some, we'll do the dimensionals along this side. I'm going to come in just a little bit. We'll add 4. And it's almost 8 o'clock, so I'll be done here in just a second, and then I'll show you my bag. I just brought one in. They're all different paper. I did the smaller one. I did using 10 by 10 paper, and I use the Jolly Holly delivery, speedy delivery, you know, the one with the dogs and all that. And then the other ones are 12 by 12 designer paper. Okay, so we know this is going to go on here, and I'm going to place it probably right about there. And I think that's pretty centered. And when I close it, it's going to be flat. So that's fine. So I'm going to float that. It will go in the envelope. We won't have any problems with that. And then we're going to come in with one of these sheets. And let's go ahead and take our designer paper and cut a strip off real quick once I locate my designer paper, which is, I don't know what I did with it. You know, y'all think you would think I'm a blonde, right? Oh, wait, I am. Scatterbrained. Oh, my trimmer was on top of it. Okay, so let's cut a piece off, and we're going to put it on the bottom piece of our outside of our card so we can write a sentiment. Since we didn't do it on the first one, we're going to do it on this one. And I've got this one piece right here that we've already cut, so we'll just trim off a little piece of this. Which one do we want? Not that one. Let's do this one. Yeah, let's do this one. We'll just do this one. I like the colors. All right, so let's just cut, let's just do a 1/2 inch. I'm just going to cut this down 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch there, and we know it's going to be 4 inches, so I'll cut it at 4. I'm going to come over just a little bit, just in case it, you know. All right, we'll put that over there. Okay, so we'll add that to our card base. We're going to put that down at the bottom. That way, oh, we could put the green. What do y'all think? Should we do the, oh, too many decisions. We could do that. I think we should do the green. I think I'll do the snowflakes. That kind of pulls the inside in. All right, so we're gonna glue this down. Add some glue on here. Okay. All right, I'll do that. And we're gonna put that right here at the bottom of our card. And then, you know, obviously you can stamp what you want on the inside, on the inside of your card. And that's one thing I will probably do for this craft fair, is stamp some of the cards inside, because I know some people don't like to have to figure out, you know, what they want to have it stamped, and they just have to write a little note. I like to write, you know, lots of stuff. So, all right, so we'll trim that off. And then this is where we're going to put this. And that's where we can write our message. Now, we could put that at the top if you want. Or we could put it at the top and the bottom. Oh, I kind of like it at the top. Let's do it that way. That's different. All right, so let's go ahead and add this. Look at that. This gets you in the Christmas spirit, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to put this one on this way. All right, so we're going to lay him right here. Get it all lined up. Isn't that pretty? Don't you just? Oh, I just love this color. Oh, such a beautiful color. All right, obviously you probably want to do that before you fold everything. But you've got it. We've got it. We're good. All right, so there are the 2 cards that we made using this, whatever we want to call the card style. Let me bring the other card in so you can see that one. I'll bring the one in that has the, all right, so those are the 2 cards that we made. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now let me put a few little items away so that we can, I'm gonna leave this paper in here for next time. And now let me bring in my bag and show you the size and what it looks like. All right, so don't go anywhere. I'm blonde. All right, don't go anywhere, Judy. All right, let me move these out of the way. We'll put it back. Okay, so this is made with a 12 by 12 piece of 2 pieces of 12 by 12. So as I mentioned earlier, for those that just joined, I'm either going to record this for the last Tuesday that I'm not going to be here, or I'll wait and do it when I come back. So here is the bag, and let me lift the camera up just a little bit because that might help. Actually, well, let me just do it this way. All right, so here's the size of the bag. That's a pretty good size bag, right? So you see that? See how big it is? So this actually, once it's put together, it is 3 inches wide. And what is it going to be? 12. I bring it down 1. So it's got to be 6. And we folded 6. This is about 8 inches high. And then here's what I did. Okay. So here's the card. I used, this is the back side of the paper that's flipped over. And then I made a little hanging thing for the card. And then the card, you're using a piece of the designer paper. Let me get it out of here. That you cut off from the, to cut down the second piece of the paper. This is 4 by 11. And then we cut that down or score it and put it on here. And then that's what I did. And then I put the inside of the card. So this is what I made and the sentiment. And then this just goes that way. When you buy the bag, you get a coordinating card. Isn't that cute? And then I put some of the Secret C string. So what would you pay for something like that? You all tell me, what would you think? What would you pay? And be honest. If you want to get it inexpensively, some people can't afford a lot, and I understand that. So I feel like that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to tell them to pay what they think it's worth, and I'm going to do that for my cards and everything that I do take to the holiday bazaar in November. I'm just going to have people offer. So isn't that cute though? This is the large one, and then I made a smaller one that's a little bit smaller because it's you use 2 10 by 10s and then you cut them down. I'll show you all that. And then I've got one smaller that you would use a 8 by 8. So I thought this, and this is a lot. This could be, I mean, you could put a book in here. You could put clothing. You could put candy. You could put, I mean, I don't know. You could put all sorts of stuff in here, right? And then I used one of the little trio of punches, and I was thinking about a circle, but I have the one that does the little slot. So I just did that, and I slid my ribbon in and glued that to the inside so you can't even see it. So there you go. So tell me what y'all think. You think 10 to 12? Yeah, it includes the card. Yep. I think that's a good thing. I know. So I'll give you, it won't be next Tuesday because I already have something pre-recorded. If I can do another one and record it for you, I'll do it the following Tuesday, which is the 21st. And if not, then we'll do it when I get back for you. Okay. All right. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate your thoughts on that. Again, here's these gorgeous cards that are really cute. And again, you can make them birthday cards, anniversary cards, whatever you want. So something different for a change. All right, there we go. I know, I do too. All right, so thank you, everybody. It is 8:07. I really appreciate you spending your Tuesday evenings with me. And if you have any questions or need any information, again, don't forget about our join offer, and our kits are on sale till tomorrow through the 8th. Up to 30% off. There's a couple of ones that I think I'm going to get. The ones that are called the blue something, they're absolutely stunning. So I think I'm going to have to get a couple of those. But anyways, all right, everybody, thank you so much. I will see you. Oh my gosh, I won't see you next week. I do have, let me check my calendar real quick. I can't remember. I'm terrible. Let me see if I have any. I don't think I have any. Oh, this Saturday is Creation Anticipation. So that's our sketch class at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. I have my Shell Point class on Friday, and then we'll do our 11:30 Saturday. The 11th is our sketch class. So I'll see you on Saturday. All right, everyone. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you on Saturday. Bye now.